is about this guy who didn't have, who was very, very poor. So he goes, and so this is a story about like how you do it for yourself, right? How do you inspire yourself to that energy, Purim dik energy? So this guy was very, very poor, and he goes to the Rebbe on Purim morning, and he enters and he says, "Good Purim, Rebbe." And the Rebbe says to him, "Good Purim, Moishala." And the Rebbe and the Moishala answers back, "Good Purim." And the Rebbe says, you don't know how to say good Purim, you know? And I want you to go and get me a shalach manas. What do you mean you come here without a shalach manas on Purim? But the guy's so poor, he didn't even have breakfast this morning, right? So he says to the Rebbe, I would love to bring you a shalach manas, but you know that I don't even know what to feed my own children with. So the Rebbe says to him, that's because you don't know how to say good Purim. And I will teach you now how to say good Purim. So now I will teach you how to say good Purim. Good Purim!
Gave a few people a heart attack there.
So Moshe answers back, good Purim, Rebbe. So the Rebbe says, Yes, and he says, good Purim! And Moshe answers back, good Purim. And finally, and slowly, the Rebbe goes, good Purim! Good Purim! That's getting better! Good? No! Good Purim! Good Purim! Good Purim! Purim! So, good Purim!
Good Purim!
Good Purim! Good Purim! Good Purim! So
I think our neshamas are now awake.
So he goes off and he says, okay, now you're ready to go and get me my shalach manas. So the guy goes into the store and he says to the store owner, good Purim! And he says, how are you? I know I owe you $1 million, but I promise you tomorrow I'm paying it to you. But in the meantime, I need to, register a few more things. And the owner of the store is just like so impressed with this guy. He's not this Moishala from yesterday that comes on like good Purim, like I'm this Nebuch who never made a buck and never will ever make a buck either, right? So he says, please take whatever you want. I'm sure you're on the right path. You're going to be making $1 million, right? So he picks up whatever he wants. He goes to brings the shalach manas to his Rebbe, right? And he goes to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe says, wow, thank you so much. And now I want you to go and make a shalach manas for your wife and children. He goes back into the store with that energy, and he says, now I need to make another buy, right? And and the owner goes, yeah, please take whatever you want. And he brings a beautiful shalach manas for his wife and children. And the day after Purim, the Rebbe says to him, now you go and you start a business, right? Wow. And he goes and he starts a business, and within a month, he becomes a very wealthy man.
Wow.
Right?
His name is Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah. Man. And he becomes a very wealthy man, and he becomes one of the biggest sponsors of the Rebbe.
Wow.
And this is like, again, this is the energy that Purim brings, the energy of self, what's the word? Self-worth and self-confidence. Yeah. And we feel the presence of Hashem, and we take it, we breathe it in. It's not like, both, by the way, we were learning this parsha that Adar, is the equivalent of Elul. Elul, we make tshuva out of awe. Adar, we make tshuva out of love, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you can try to like drill into your head that Hashem is with you. But Adar and then Nisan, which is also Geula, right? Both Purim and Pesach are the holidays that represent Geula, also right. Hanukkah, right? It's like this season of like, notice how we're moving, transforming from like this um, inner winter to inner spring and blossom, right? And this is the idea. Like we move on from Hanukkah, which represents the midah of bitachon, the midah of like of really knowing that Hashem is with me, into Purim, right? That we not drill it into my head with like this awe and self um, convict, like not by trying to convince myself, but by feeling it, by dancing through it, by laughing through it, by singing through it, and feeling how Hashem is really with me, so that the next holiday we really blossom. By the next holiday, by Pesach, we really blossom.
Good time to get a job then.
Or decree.